Hey there guys, just a quick reminder, all the videos on this channel are not made for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Alright guys, today we'll be looking at MAFEX 2026 re-release of the Batman Hush Superman figure. You get this little pamphlet, a stand for the figure, and here is Superman himself. Thank God that MAFEX is one of those companies who like to reissue their figures, because last time I checked on eBay, this guy was going for like $300, and I definitely was not going to pay that amount for this guy. But luckily, now that they've been reissued, they also brought back the Joker, Bane, and Cyborg Superman, and this is the one I wanted the most, so I'm really happy to finally have him. And here is Superman's cape, and it looks really nice. It's like a really bright, shiny red. Now, one thing that does disappoint me about the cape is the wires. It only has them in the front. When it comes to like the Batman Hush, for example, he has 4 wires, 2 down here, and I really wish that this guy had them as well, because unfortunately you can only articulate the front area of the cape, but that means that the back you pretty much can do nothing here. And so that you guys are aware, the cape is now removable. As you can see, the chest is a separate piece. However, I'm pretty sure it's glued on, so the cape pretty much is just gonna be there. Now, when it comes to shading, they definitely give this figure quite a good amount. They gave it some shading here on the 6-pack. They also gave it some shading on the back area. In the legs, there's definitely some shading, although most of it is on the blue. On the red boots, however, I don't think there's any shading. And for the upper body, they definitely gave some shading down here on the sides. And the arms definitely have some shading throughout the whole thing. But again, most of the shading seems to be on the blue. The red stuff, however, like the crotch piece and the boots, there doesn't appear to be any. And what's really nice is the hair actually has blue shading on it, so it's not just pure black. And when it comes to the skin color, there's definitely shading on the neck, but on the face, however, there only seems to be shading like on the cheeks, and that's about it. Now, when it comes to articulation, Superman's crotch piece it's made of soft plastic, so that's pretty good. However, it does leave it a little bit gappy around the waist, so I don't know, that might be a problem for some people. However, when it comes to articulating the leg all the way up, it can definitely do it pretty well. And when it comes to going the leg backwards, it does it also pretty well. But again, because it's made of a soft plastic, it does bend the plastic a little bit, as you can see. So you just gotta keep that in mind. And of course, the legs actually have drop down hips, so that's pretty good. So they can actually drop down the legs. So that definitely will allow you to do way more with it. Now when it comes to the rest of the articulation, the leg can bend this much. Unfortunately, there is no boot rotation, but you can rotate it at the top of the leg. Now the arms do have a butterfly joint, as you can see. And so far they look pretty good. They definitely give you some range. The arms can bend about this much. The arms can cross about this far. And what's really nice is Superman can actually touch his feet if he wants to. That soft crotch piece definitely helps with the articulation right there. Now when it comes to bending the figure backwards, on the other hand, this is about as well as it goes. Now, one thing you should keep in mind that if you move the arms higher up like this, you can actually cross them into each other even more with the butterfly joints, as you can see. So that's pretty good. Now, something that does annoy me, but not with Superman, mostly with their newest Batman figure. As you can see, his crotch is made of more of a harder plastic, so when you try to bend him forward, he cannot go as down as Superman, which is pretty disappointing. I don't know why they gave him a harder one when they could have given him a soft one like Superman, but to make it even worse, his legs create more of this V shape. If you try to straighten them, all it does is make the leg pop off, which is pretty disappointing. Superman, on the other hand, if I swapped his hands for his karate chopping ones, he definitely would be able to touch his feet. On top of that, his legs are all straight, which is pretty good. And lastly, when it comes to the articulation, he has neck articulation, which is pretty good. Now, when it comes to looking up, it could be better. I wish he could go a bit higher, but honestly, it's good enough, which is really important for Superman because he's definitely a flyer. Articulation wise, this guy is pretty good. When it comes to the color and paint work, it definitely looks really nice. This is definitely a good looking Superman. I'm definitely happy that I have this guy in my collection now. However, the only thing, if I had to neck pick, was definitely the yellow that they used here. I really wish that it was more like the yellow on this Batman, as you can see. That definitely would have looked better in my opinion. But besides that, this is a really good figure. If you don't have this Superman, I suggest you get him now while you can, because I don't know how long it'll be before they reissue this guy. Because before, as I stated before, he was going up for like 300 bucks on eBay, so it's really nice to finally have this guy back in stock. Now, when it comes to accessories, it comes with this bonus hand that has a kryptonite ring on it. However, it's not for Superman himself, it's actually for Batman. To be more specific, it's the blue Batman. Now, when it comes to this figure specifically, unfortunately they did not reissue him, so you cannot get him. However, you can pre-order the battle damage one, which is when he fought Reissue. So that's the same color as this guy. So if you want, you can pretty much use this hand on that figure. It should go pretty well. He also comes with these green accessories, these green vines. They're basically when Poison Ivy is controlling him. And they're made of a very soft plastic, as you can see. And this guy comes with two heads, this one being the one he comes with by default, and he also comes with a pair of fists. And here is his alternate head. It's more of an angry expression with red eyes. Not to mention, he also has a second pair of fists. The main difference between this and the original ones is that there's actually a small gap in between right there. While the default fists pretty much just have the whole thing sealed off. He also comes with these pair of open grabbing hands. He also comes with these slightly less open hands. And lastly, here he comes with these karate chopping hands, which are basically more for his when he uses them to fly. It looks like I got some bad luck. As you probably noticed, one of Superman's hands is damaged. I will try to fix it later on, but it kind of sucks that, you know, as you can see, it looks like it got a bit ripped in between two of the fingers. Hopefully I'll be able to fix it later on, but, you know, that's really disappointing. Besides that one issue I had with that one hand, this figure overall came out pretty good, and I'm pretty happy with it. As I stated before, if you try to look for this figure on eBay in the past, it would have gone for like $300 brand new. So I'm really happy that they finally reissued this guy. Now, unfortunately, he did come out a little bit higher than he should be. Normally, Mafex figures are around the $90 range. Once this guy went up in stock, this guy was for about $105. Now, granted, that's not as bad as some other figures. Their newest Batman was like $130. So this is definitely on the better side, but still, you know, it should have been like $90 at most. But again, it's either $105 from Bid Back Toy Store or $300 from eBay. So, you know, that's kind of up to you to decide. For me, it was worth it. I definitely am glad that I have this guy in my collection now. And now it's time for the size comparisons. And here he is next to my Snail Shell Zombie Grizza and my Marvel Legends Amazing Fantasy Spider-Man. And here he is next to my Jedi Toy Street Fighter Cammy and Guile. And here he is next to my MAFEX Marvel Gwenpool and DC Batman Night Crusader. And finally, here he is next to my official Android 21 and third-party Xenogoku. Anyway guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you can, like and subscribe, and I'll be uploading more soon, especially since Mattel is going to start releasing their own DC figures later this year, and I'll definitely be reviewing all of them. I'm really excited. I hope to God that they're not overpriced. You know, if they stay closer to the $25 to $30 range, I think they'll be pretty good, because I definitely want Mattel to come back to DC figures. I'm definitely not a fan of McFarlane. I really do not like their figures, so hopefully we'll start getting better figures from Mattel soon. Anyway guys, I'll see you guys next time. Later.